I need
Okay.
the Mikey thing.
Is my mic on? Okay.
Want me to open it with people in or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So great. Thank you.
We're just going to wait a moment as people come into the room and then we'll get started. Happy New Year, everyone. Hello, those of you who are joining right now. We're just going to wait another moment, and when we're at 6 o'clock, we'll start. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back to Wellness at Eastman. I'm Galen McCormick. I'm the director of Eastman Performing Arts Medicine here at the University of Rochester. And we're live tonight in Howard Hanson Hall. I'm really excited because I've invited my friend, an amazing saxophonist and just all around amazing musician, Dr. Chisato Eda Marling, who's going to be talking with us about sleep tonight. Before we dive in, give me 1 second. I just want to do an acknowledgement that the University of Rochester is on the land of the Haudenosaunee people and the Seneca clan in particular, and that we respect and acknowledge their true ownership of this land. So my friend, you're going to talk to us about something we all need, but we don't actually think about too much. So I'm really excited. Please take it away.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you very much, Galen, for introduction, and the Eastman School of Music and Eastman Performing Arts Medicine for having me talk about very important subject for all of us, sleep. I have a note to sleep in capital. When I was a doctoral student at Eastman, my minor was musician's wellness, which covered various topics from performance anxiety to injury to nutrition to sleep. Today, I would like to share what sleep does for us from my research and then also from my experiences, how we can benefit from this superpower. So hopefully we can take advantage from it more. Many people think sleep as an inert state, like laptop switching off or something that we do, eat, brush our teeth, go to school, and sleep. It's something that we just do. But during sleep, your mind and body are actually highly active and processes critical work for your physical and mental health. In fact, your body even performs certain tasks more efficiently when you are at rest than when you are alert. Oops. Am I going this way? Yep, okay. I would like to state that sleep is the single most effective thing that we can do each day to reset our health of our body. Matthew Walker, professor of neuroscience and psychology, once said, sleep can be seen as a Swiss Army knife of health. Whatever your ailment is, sleep normally has tools in the box. So what is sleep? Sleep is an activity. There are 4 stages, about 90 minutes to 120 minutes total. Stage 1, between waking and sleeping. Stage 2, light sleep. This is where you're no longer aware of surroundings. And stage 3, deep slow wave sleep that restores the body. Stage 4, REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, that helps us psychologically. Some researchers think that the brain consolidates new memories and takes care of other housekeeping tasks during this sleep. So what does sleep do for us? So there are several things. The first one, there are no order, the importance in order. So the first one that I posted was heals. The slow wave sleep is vital to immune function and body's repair. You have the highest level of human growth hormone during the first part of the night. White blood cells, which is the body's infection fighters, ramp up their circulation as well. Sleep deprivation is thought to reduce the natural killer cells that can help ward off infection. Insufficient sleep has also been linked to greater risk for all kinds of health problems, including heart attacks, stroke, diabetes, and inflammation. Next one is enhances memory. Sleeping brains acts as a memory curator. You take in realms of information during the day. At night, your brain decides what's crucial to store in long-term memory and what is okay to forget. In addition, sleep may help procedural memory. Activities that get practiced during the day get replayed in your brain during sleep. While nothing beats 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep, researchers suggest that naps may be helpful also. If you're taking a test or giving a talk next morning or this evening, sleep before next morning, study before sleeping. If the big event is happening late in the day, try to nap after your final practice session. For unknown reasons, the last thing that you do often becomes a priority for your sleeping brain. If you have a trouble napping, try wakeful resting. The small study found that shielding yourself from distractions during a sleep or quiet rest may allow new memories to be strengthened and retained for much longer. Next one, boost creativity. Inside the brain consists billion of busy neurons, all meticulously looking for patterns and connections between new memories and existing knowledge, in sometimes in unexpected problem-solving ways. REM sleep may be the most fertile time for such epiphanies. During the REM sleep, the rational control center for the brain is deactivated. This produces an amazingly creative state, and you may be able to come up with ideas that you would not be able to when you are awake. There's no guarantee that you will invent the next Instagram, but the right amount of sleep and the little know-how, you might think up a gift that your friend will love. Contemplate your conundrum as you brush your teeth before bed. The timing will tell your brains that the problem is important, so that once you're sleeping, your brain might produce an outside box answer. Next one, keeps weight at check. During REM sleep, your brain is active, chewing up glucose especially quickly. Adequate sleep is associated with faster metabolism overall, burning calories more quickly all night and throughout the day. The more sleep deprived you are, the harder it will feel like you have to work to burn each calorie. When your body senses a longer waking day, It tries to confer the energy by shifting the metabolism to a slower speed. Sleep helps regulate appetite. People who sleep deprived produce more ghrelin, a hormone that increases feelings of hunger, and less leptin, a hormone that lets you know that you are full. This is the last one. Helps conquer stress. Scientists have noticed that well-rested brain is better at putting the brakes on the amygdala, the almond-shaped structure that activates emotional responses such as anxiety, impatience, and anger, while also eliciting activity in the parts of the prefrontal cortex where reasoning occurs. The opposite often occurs when you are sleep deprived. The amygdala races into override and the prefrontal cortex hangs back. Again, sleeping makes the last thing we did more vivid in our minds. So if you had an argument or experienced an emotionally distressing event, working through the distressing emotions before going to bed or taking a nap will help those memories less upsetting before falling asleep. If you are calm when you close your eyes, you will probably wake up calm also. I would like to share several things to enhance your sleep. So before this, for me and also for you, let's take a deep breath. So 5 seconds each in and out, 5 seconds in through the nose, and then 5 seconds out of your mouth. And then if you can make a sound, so breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, 5 in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I always do this before I go to sleep or nap. I want you to experience that with me. Good naps is a short nap, 20 to 30 minutes. When you nap, you get mostly sleep, non-REM sleep. This helps pay off a sleep debt without shortening the next night's sleep. If you anticipate a night with too little sleep, try napping beforehand. Seems to work best to reduce sleep loss problem. I am sure all of you have an experience where you nap without having an alarm on and then naps 2 or 3 hours and then wake up groggy. That happens when you already had a full cycle of those sleep, including the REM sleep. And then when you have a REM sleep during the nap, that will interfere the good night sleep happens during the night. Number 2, restrict caffeine, especially in the evening. It's different for everybody, but I would say after 3 or 4 p.m., caffeine will definitely impact my good night sleep. So number 3, restrict, what did I say? Restrict alcohol before bedtime. It will relax in the short term, and I have done that, but actually the alcohol, it will shorten the amount that you spend in REM sleep that needs psychologically during the sleep. So, and number 4, restrict non-sleep activities in bed. I don't have a phone, but imagine that I have a phone. So one word, cell phone. I am guilty of this, of course, but the less you do that, that would be best. Next one, keep consistent sleep-wake times. I cannot tell this strongly enough. Keep consistent sleep-wake times. I often hear that it was difficult to wake up at normal time on Monday after staying up or sleeping late during the weekend. Sticking to a consistent sleep schedule as much as possible helps you get the right amount of sleep for your unique needs, and almost to make it easier to fall asleep quicker at night. So this also, even if you will get shorter amount of sleep, it's sticking into couple hours, 5 o'clock. I usually wake up 4:30, but I woke up at 6 today. So that amount, 2 hours or so difference is not sleeping in, but relatively keeping to schedule, especially during the weekends, also helps during the week. And the rest of them are good things to have as a bedtime routine. Going to bed with empty stomach. If you eat, then this elevates glucose level, then it activates the sympathetic nervous system, which is the, as you probably are aware, of fight or flight nervous system. I'm coming back on this a little bit later. Sleeping in a cooler room at night. It may decrease your body's temperature quicker, boosting melatonin, the sleep hormone. Darkness is a sleepiness cue to our body. Sleep in a darkened room. If that is not possible, before this, Galen and I talked about what about having roommate, or a really bright room, wear eye shades, that might help. Take a warm shower before bed. Beyond relaxation, warm shower has the power to help you sleep, believe it or not. When you get out of the warm shower, the production of, so your body temperature drops. Then the production of a melatonin is going to be increased. So then therefore, and then the cooler room will help also. And the last one is what I also do, a tablespoon of honey before bed. So I mentioned a couple of lines ago that I recommended that going to bed empty stomach. But like I said in the beginning, sleep is an activity. So then they use the energy in our body to do the activity. So honey helps your brain release melatonin, the hormone that your body uses to restore itself during sleep. Your brain turns the liver glycogen to power itself during times when glucose is limited when you're sleeping. Honey with equal amounts of fructose and glucose can help restore your liver glycogen so your brain doesn't use up all that storage. This helps blood sugar rather stable and won't wake you up in the middle of the night wanting food in your system. Next one is stretch before going to sleep. So this helps the blood flow and avoid retaining lactic acid. The muscles around your head, as you can see, the neck or a little bit above the neck, the bottom of the skull, that's where the muscle of the neck starts, and then that's usually it's very tight, and then we don't think about it often. The muscle around your head and the neck get tight during the day. Simple self-care massage helps release the tension in those muscles, and then also helps regulate the automatic nervous system. It will relax you to begin your restful sleep. Or you can use steamed hot towel to wrap around your neck. So my PowerPoint shows the make fist, and then use your knuckle to massage in that directions. And then this is, of course, I'm a wellness person, so if you have a hand injury, you don't want to do that. I have a little bit of a hand injury on the right, so I will probably go easy on that. So just to be aware of that. And it doesn't need to be this specific emotions, but and you will find that you will have knots. I have a lot of knots. And then also going down and then up and then down, up and then down. And if you have a person like me have an injury on the hands or wrist, you can use your feet. So this also helps the blood flow and then avoid retaining a lactic acid. Move your feet upwards and then downwards and upwards and downwards. So 5 seconds each to stretch that. And about your feet, you can, you can also place your fingers between the toes, all the toes, and then move around to relax. So hope these informations are beneficial to lead you to a very good night's sleep for your body and mental health. Says nighty night. I would love for you to try any of the tips that I shared today, and then to get the superpower of sleep. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we just chat for a couple of questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm always worried about our students here at the Eastman School, because I know they have a lot literally on their plates, right?
Yes.
They always have theory and assignments they have to do with writing and listening. And then we're in second semester now, so a lot of the degree recitals are going to come up. And I feel like this is when we really get into that crunch of, Dr. Marling, how can I sleep when I've got to be on top of all of these things? So how would you help us prioritize or sneak in?
Sneak
sleep?
in.
Because I feel like it's dangerous to go into your senior recital
Right.
very sleep deprived.
Right,
So what would you say?
right. So my last doctoral recital was at 9 p.m. And I also was already teaching. So I had a full day and then the nighttime performance. So I think it's important to remember that our bodies and mind takes about 3 to at least a week to get used to whatever the routines that you want to have, especially the food that you're eating or the sleep or the for me it was performing at my prime at 9 p.m. So I plan out the day kind of a backwards when I have to be ready to perform at 9 p.m. And then I look at every single day. And then of course I was writing papers, after papers. And as you can tell, I was an international student, so the work was triple that amount. So I didn't get a lot of a good night's sleep during that nighttime, but I always made sure to have a quiet moment, about like 45 minutes if you can, even a 30 minutes where you can be quiet and then off, and then close my eyes. You don't actually have to get a sleep to get a benefit of sleep. It's kind of an oxymoron saying that, but wakeful resting is a really great tool to think about. I'm not sure if I'm like answering the questions, but really look at the schedule from 24 hours and then see what you can do.
No, I think you are answering that question, because I think when we get into that period and it's time to perform the degree recital, right? We've been building to this usually over the 4 years. I think you're right to say, like, when you said yours was at 9 o'clock, for me, that's actually fairly late. And it was hard when I played with our
Yeah.
trio. Like, once I had a baby, man, we got to intermission and I wanted to go to bed. But
Yeah, yeah.
so really having to think about how to make sure I prioritize my energy. So yeah, of course, if you know that your recital is whatever time,
Right.
how can you start to build your schedule so that you know you'll have the energy and focus? to
Right,
make it
right,
that time?
right. And then that this is going to be a little bit of off topic because we're talking about nutrition and things, but rely on caffeine to be ready at 9 p.m., for example, is probably not the way to go. So different things to help, getting ready to your performance or your auditions or anything that important to you.
Well, the audition, so this is really interesting. We were chatting before. My mentor used to say, if you have a morning audition in particular, do not skimp on the morning routine, rather to skimp on sleep so that you create a good, in his mind, it was always 4 hours. That we were seeing too many people like at the morning auditions, so we're waking up an hour and just rolling in, and then you're all discombobulated. But how do you deal with that then? So is this similar to your 9 p.m. ideal?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's always think about when you have to be at prime and then plan backwards. And obviously, hour before, like waking up hour before audition is probably will probably rattle me and rattle a lot of you. 4 hours might be a good time, might be 3 hours for some. I might wake up a little bit earlier than 4 hours, 5 hours. But the most important thing is that, like I said, when you are calm at night, when you can wake up calm, and then we want to continue that morning or evening or whatever you are due to perform, calm to get excited to, and then get ready for the performance. So that 4 hours that your teacher said is a really good time, because then you're calm throughout you doing the routines.
The other thing that I took this from Don Green and his performance success book is the idea that if you can't sleep the night before, let's say the audition, because you have to get up at 4 and be at the hall at 8, he used to say, just lie there and don't do anything, don't use the time. And I'm realizing that's the thing that you call that, is that wakeful resting.
Yeah, wakeful resting while going. And then also wakeful resting, it's easy word and oh yeah, I can do that. But most of us, when we do, from my experience, my students were like making list of things like 1 to hundreds, and then it's not really restful thing. So that's what I'm keep going back to, that it takes time to practice, learn the new pieces, get ready to perform the sleep, and then get wakeful resting is also takes time to practice. So a lot of times I suggested to have a journal on the bedside to just write about what you need to do. And then that's physically just out there. So when you are at the restful sleep or wakeful resting, there is a visual sign that I don't need to worry about it, or something like that, so that you can practice actually do nothing.
I think that is so powerful to have that piece of paper, notebook, whatever it is. But I was going to say the phone is a problem I
Yeah.
actually just banished the phone from my own bedroom just a couple weeks ago, and I cannot believe how much better I'm sleeping.
Yeah,
But I would think, oh, I'm just gonna put a little to do, I'm just gonna respond to that email. And I think it is doing something, so I think that tangibly you can relax and say, it's right there, put it
Right.
there.
right. And then also like, also tell our brains, tell ourselves that all the things that we need to worry about right now will be there when we wake up. So that we don't need to think about
Yes.
right now.
Well, the other thing I like is that when I have this, then there's the temptation, right? to
Oh,
dive into
yes.
Social media or dive into my work, and I think it is, yeah, I'm becoming a huge proponent of, it's not in my room, it's not on, it's
Yep.
not, it's in do not
Yep.
disturb in airplane mode.
Yep,
So
yep,
when I get up, I also don't get that surge of.
right.
I have to do all
right.
these things.
And, it's okay to not to be available
Yes.
the entire time that you
That's
have
a whole
phone.
cultural conversation.
Right, right,
Whole session.
right.
I really also wanted to just talk about the coolness of the room. That was such an interesting idea with the shower, and I have read that before, but how can we negotiate that? So let's say we are here in the dormitories here and have a room.
Mhm.
We're kind of stuck, right, with whatever the heat is in the building. Like, is the shower probably our best strategy then to try and get the body to warm and then cool?
Yeah, I think so too. Because the cooler room is not available. There's always a fan right there. I have a fan in our bedroom. Also white noise that like I like to have. And it's important to drop the body temperature, even if the room is warmer than you like. The taking a shower at night actually, the two things, well, three things, right? Cleans you up and relaxes you, and then also drop the temperature, the body temperature, and then that is signaling the melatonin to be produced more so that you get to sleep.
That's really helpful, and it's an easy step. I mean, right,
Yes.
and then you're also cleaned up, so that's not a bad.
No.
That's really terrific. Steve, do we have any from the Q&A for me to look into? Because I don't have it up on my phone. Is there any Q&A to? Excellent. All right. Well, I would just like to thank you for coming.
Thank
in
you
to
for
talk
having
about
me.
this. You always have so many fascinating things to think about. Musician wellness, and I think we were chatting, the International Musician just came out and the article was on inflammation, but their first recommendation, sleep. So great.
Thank you so much for
I'm
having
excited
me.
about that.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. We're going to be back in February, on February 1, with Dr. Dagmar Kaufman talking about mental health and musicians. And I think we're going to have a special guest, but I'm going to keep that tight-lipped until I absolutely confirm him. And I just want to share from Eastman Performing Arts Medicine, we have some news that's dropping tonight. To check out our social media on Facebook, Eastman Performing Arts Medicine. We have a really, nope, I'm not going to say it. You have to check our social media and see what it is. We have some very good news to share with everyone. Dr. Marling, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Everyone, remember, be well, wash those mitts, and I'll see you in February. Have a good night.